Hey guys, welcome to today's video. We are doing a face of the month. I didn't do face of the month last month because I did the halo laser and I pre-filmed something, but the weather was not cooperating and it didn't look good, so we skipped October? No, September? And this is going to be October's face of the month. Face of the month is kind of like the favorites video or faves and fails video. But for me, I like the idea of face of the month because I can't determine something as a favorite for me in just a couple of weeks. So for me, it's just face of the month. These are some of the things that I bought this month. Some of them I revisited once, some never again. So it's a good time for me to also kind of, what did I get this month? So let's get into it. I have already put on my foundation. I'm going to wear something with a little bit of a V-neck, and because I have so much redness up here, I wanted to put some MAC Face and Body on, which when it sets, it's not going to transfer onto my clothes, but I do have sunscreen here first, and it's going to take a while to set, so I thought we'd just do the cami thing, and then we will switch over to the shirt that really helps with the fall vibes, and that's what we're doing, a very wowy, I feel like I'm one of this character fall look. So I have already done my foundation. I put on a little bit of this, which doesn't have too much coverage, and it's quite peachy, and then I put this over it, which I always thought as being peach, but compared to this, not so peach, but I think they're very nice together, and I put the Lancome under my eyes. So my base is done. None of them are new, but I have to say I haven't worn this in a very, very long time because it doesn't offer too much coverage. So let's move on to the Hourglass Ambient Lighting Edit in Universe, and it kind of has it all. Now I think this is the overall face powder, but I don't think I'm going to use that. I'm going to do a little bit of bronze, not too much, and this cool blush, which to me really screams fall. Now because the color is a little dark for me, I'm going to use this brush, which is a Sephora brush, no longer made, but I like it because it's not too dense. And when I'm going in with a color I'm not 100% sure about, that's my preference. And just use a light hand, just back and forth. I'm not looking to look like I'm tan. I'm just looking to make my skin look like skin. So, you know, sometimes when you put on foundation, it evens up everything, but it kind of takes away the liveliness of skin tones, of the different colors that is in everybody's face. Lucy is licking the trash can. I don't even ask. Mainly because she wouldn't answer. Just a little here. And getting that hairline. I haven't powdered my face, but I did let this all set for a solid 15 minutes, and apparently I don't think I need to powder. Now I'm going in with a proper blush brush with this one. And this has kind of a berry tone. It reminds me of, I think it's called Mood Exposure. The blush, which I've never owned, but I've always been interested in owning. Tamara loves that shade. And I'm going to start at the edge of my eyes. So my eyes aren't huge. They kind of align with my arch. Very, very nice color. Now I'm going to do something else for my highlighter, but I'm still enjoying this. I like the tones in it, and it's the first one that's come out in quite some time from their holiday sets that doesn't feel too dark for me. I'm going to do this Westman Atelier gift set, which is so darn beautiful and such a beautiful, beautiful gift, as my highlighter. I'm just going to, in case you didn't see that video, show this to you again. Again, there's no sunlight today, it's very cloudy, but it has both a gold and a silver to it. And at first I thought I want to compare it to the Charlotte Tilbury Wand Spotlight, which is my favorite, but that has a little bit more of a rosy to it. I think why I think of them together is they both, to me, are subtle. They don't have odd colors to them where it doesn't look unnatural for me. Yes, gold is not really a natural skin tone for me, but it's very, very subtle. You can pick this up with your finger, just from here, and put it on that way. Or do that, which I'm going to do since I didn't powder my face today. I already have a lot of sheen. For my nose, though, I am going to pick it up right here. I do like to have a little bit in the bridge, but I don't want it to pick up my foundation. And a little bit here. Oh, I just remembered something that I wanted to do. All right, MadLuuv. First of all, get a couple of Q-tips. One thing that I have figured out, and I haven't figured it all out with this product, but it will, whatever shine you have on your eyes is going to be there under the powder, and that itself, you know, your eyebrows aren't shiny, so when someone's looking at you, they see eyebrow, matte, let's say, and then shine right here. So first, to do the MadLuuv brows, you have to clean this area of anything. And then I'm going to go in with powder. This is from Chantecaille, and it does have a little color to it, so I'm hoping to kind of knock down the redness and just even up the playing field. Prepping for this. I don't want to put a cream up here. So if you didn't see that video, this is a kit from a company called MadLuuv, and they send you a bunch of stencils. Voila. And this, which is a powder. Like this, the powder is in here, and it's on this stamp. Always undo it before you get started, because once you get this thing in, both your hands are going to be holding this up. I'm going to change my mirror and bring this one up here so I can see what I'm doing. And this eye is harder for me than the other eyes, so I'm kind of looking at the tail, looking at the arch, and looking at the start, and lining them all up, but they still seem a little bit off. And when you go in, start at the tail, because you don't want all this color on the head. And I'm just going to continue to stamp here because I can't see very well because this is causing a shadow. But it seems to me it gets a little too heavy at the head, and I'll just do one stamp at the head. Boom. And now I'm going to go back in with my little brush and make sure my foundation hasn't been disturbed. Yeah, see how this part is going much higher than my tail? It's still tough. Observation is that this is better if you do it right side. It's better if you already have the brows that are in this stencil. And what you're really doing is just filling out sparse brows, where I have completely naked skin right here. I don't like this look. I feel that it's very, very blocky, and it doesn't work entirely all that fantastic for me because it still looks, it doesn't look like natural brows. So I'm going to go in with this. This is a NYX pen, and you can use the lightest hand with this, and you'll get some decent looking hair strokes. If you press down at all, this tip won't give it to you. I've tried several of these brushes, and like I said, I'll be doing a video. They kind of bleed out and they don't look like hairs. There. Back to this side, and we'll be back when I'm done. I'm going to go on with a little bit of powder because I do feel that I have a little too much sheen on my face, and then we'll come back and finish. Alright, I changed. I powdered my face. I felt it was a little too shiny, and I just want to share with you a little trick. Sometimes when I've done this, I look in my monitor later on, and I feel like brows are a little too dark. Again, kind of hard to tell in here, but I take a brush, an eyeshadow brush, and put a little bit of the powder, the By Terry powder, and just, especially at the head where it can get a little too much. And look at all the powder that's being picked up. Wipe it off. And you don't actually have to do this with By Terry powder. You can just go in with a brush over this MadLuuv powder and smooth everything out. Take some off. If you get some on the face, go back in with a concealer brush and smooth that away. You can go through a spoolie if you want, but that kind of helps to take the edge off. Let's move on to eyes. I did a video recently for beginners makeup kit, and I chose and bought this little palette, but I didn't put it on, so today's the day. We're going to go with this color. Again, when you're buying things online, you sometimes are not going to get exactly what you thought, and this shade had a little bit of a mustardy, kind of grungy look to it that I really liked, but I found that it doesn't have that tone, but it's still very useful and very fall-ish. I'm just going to put it all over the lid. And then I'm taking the Chikuhodo and I'm going in here for Natural Wilderness, which does have that kind of mustardy undertone to it. So it's a very warm brown, and I think those two shades work perfectly together. And I've got a fall little shirt on and goes perfectly with that too. And this is going to be my transition. It's a little pigmented, so I'm going to share it with both sides and then blend. I hear you, Lucy, and I'm not sure what the deal is because you have been fed. Now, like most women, I'm not even from eye to eye. I have a lot more issues on this side, skin issues, and I have my tear duct protrudes here, and I feel like I need a little more work on this side. So I'm going to go in with this shade here, which is called Best of Me, and it is a cream color, and just kind of help it out. So I'll do the cream on both sides, but I want to start with this side because this is the side that I am having blending issues with. I will say MAC, not the best shadows in the world. They're solid, but for less than perfect skin, not the best. But they do have a very good selection of colors, and you won't be stuck with a palette that has 10 colors in it and 2 of them you're going to use, because you can do your own palette and put what you want and what you think will be useful. And you just have to figure it out, you know. The video I did for beginner makeup kit, I went into it a little bit and explained the kind of colors that you might want. Something creamy for just this purpose. You also could lay it down all over the lid before you start with shadows. Anyway, I'll do another video that expressly talks about eyes for beginners, but I feel like I have a decent blend now. And now I'm going to do a little bit of pencil work with something that I bought at a Sephora sale, but I didn't really use it much because it's green, but now I got this kind of greenness going on. It'll be perfect. As much as I love green, green can be very, very difficult. This is two-sided. It's a duo from Charlotte Tilbury, and one has a lot of warmth to it, and the other one is darker. And it's a beautiful, beautiful pencil, but it didn't really go with the greens that I have, mostly from the Metropolis palette. Well, it did with some of the greens, but I think I'm going to have fun with this one. So in the inner corner, I'm going to go in really sloppy for about a third. Then I'm going to turn it around and go the lash line. And I think I need to sharpen this first. All right, lash line. I'm not doing something really precious and really articulate it, but that was a little too dull. And I'm going to use it also in my tight line. Just kind of back and forth, rub it in. A more dull pencil is actually better for this, in my opinion. It covers more surface. And now you go in with a Q-tip or a smudger, or I'm going to come in with this brush and just smudge it up a little bit. This is a Hakuhodo brush, and my brushes are listed below. I'm hardly touching it because this is a somewhat soft liner. And if you want to, you could put this lighter color a little bit under the eyes. I don't like to do too much under the eyes because I have so much going on. And under my eyes, you know, wrinkles, puffiness, darkness, the whole thing. I don't like to call attention. And for my particular eye shape, lining does not make my eyes look larger. It makes them look smaller. And now a little mascara. And that is almost it. I'm feeling quite fall. Again, no sunlight, so the look is a little bit different than usual, and I'm afraid it might be a little too cool, and you won't see the warmth that is going on here. But there's a good deal of warmth in the eyeshadow, and it does have a fall look, I swear. This is the Makeup by Mario, by the way, magnetic. And this is the color Fanda, F-A-N-D-A, and it's a lovely fall color. And there's the Fanda with these liners. And I just think this is a lovely fall look. All things that I've gotten in the past month. And we'll just take down the hair to see if that's going to cooperate with us today. And when I do that, the color changes even more in the camera. I'm like, wow, that's super icy cold. But I'm telling you, this is a very nice, it has some warmth and some coolness to it. For me, even though this is a green, which generally is a cool color, there's a mustardy kind of tone going on, and especially with the shade I use for the transition. And this lip, I know I think it's neutral. It's not cool, and it's not warm. The blush is definitely cool, but there's something about these colors that I really, really enjoy. They scream fall to me, and this is my face of the month. You guys, thank you so much for spending some time with me. I hope it might have been entertaining. Maybe I gave you a couple of ideas, and I hope you come back again. Until we meet again, be safe and smart, and I'm wishing you good health.